Real estate is a numbers game, but if you're not converting, none of the numbers matter. So here's the truth. Getting leads is one thing. Knowing how to convert them is what actually gets you paid. And that's exactly what this tool does. Doug out in California used this same tool to land a $1.6 million listing and a $700,000 buyer client in just 4 weeks. In Vince in Kentucky, he got a buyer and a seller deal in 6 days. 6. My name's Chris Jones. I'm the founder of Guerilla Realty. And this is the same system I personally use to get clients without spending a dime on ads or buying leads. It's also the same tool hundreds of other agents are using right now to get amazing results. And today, I want to give it to you for free. There's no course, no high-ticket coaching offer coming at the end of this video. Just like the video, share it with a friend, drop a quick comment saying that you did, and I'll send you a private link with everything, the full playbook, copy and paste ads and scripts, a live step-by-step tutorial, and all the tools and apps you'll need to launch it yourself, all 100% free. Let's dive in. Here's what I'll cover in this video. First, I'll show you how to set up your free Hatcher account. This is the tool that powers the entire system and acts as your command center for converting leads like clockwork. Second, we'll connect Twilio so that you can start making calls from inside the platform without juggling multiple apps or CRMs. And third, I'll walk you through uploading your existing database or connecting your lead source so new leads flow in automatically and you can start converting them right away. These 3 simple steps are what hundreds of agents are already using to get clients without spending money on ad. And today, you're getting it all free. All right, let's dive into lesson number 1, how to set up your free Hatcher account. So let me share my screen and show you how to do this. It only takes a second. You can navigate in your browser to heyhatcher.com. That's how you can get a hold of this tool for free. And in the upper right-hand corner, you can click sign in if you already have an existing Guerilla Realty account to get you access to all of our free apps. Or if you don't have that, then you can click create an account. And remember, this account is 100% free. It'll never cost you a dime, and it'll automatically get you instant access and lifetime access to all of our free apps. So you would just click create an account, create a new account, follow the prompts, and you're all ready to go. Now, I already have an existing account, so I'm going to log in with that. And that's going to take me to my Hatcher dashboard. Now, this is my command center for lead follow-up, converting leads into clients. And so let me walk you through really quickly how we've set Hatcher up and why it exists and maybe why you should use it. So what you have here, and let me shrink my head just a little bit for you guys so you can see a little better. What you have here is 4 distinct columns. That's it, right? Unreached, bribe/value, client, and closing. So here's how I use these. Unreached leads is where all of my brand new, newly originated or unreached leads go, right? So if I generated a new lead from my website, it automatically goes into Hatcher. I can show you how to set that up too. If I just met somebody in Lowe's and they're a brand new lead and they wanted a CMA on their property and they're thinking about listing, then I would just go over here and I would add a new contact, and it's going to automatically go into the unreached column. Okay. Now, once I've started making calls, which I'll show you how to do that in just a moment. Once I started making calls with Hatcher and I start having conversations, and let's say, I have a conversation with Chris Jones and I end up offering him some little bribe or some little bit of value. That's what we call it, a bribe here at Guerilla Realty. And he says yes to it. I'm going to move him over to the bribe column. Now, they're not a client yet, but they're definitely on their way to becoming a client. This is like my big focus. This is who I spend all my time with every week, is working on these people and turning them into a client. And then a client obviously is somebody that you have either an exclusive listing agreement with signed or a buyer's agency agreement. Those are clients. Anybody that doesn't have one of those 2 things is not truly a client. And then obviously once you've worked with your client, you help them buy a home and they close on it, they're closing. Or if you get their home listed and you get it sold and it closes, then they're closing and you can move them into the final of the 4 columns. And that's really how Hatcher works. So if you noticed on the way in, the tagline for Hatcher is this CRM does almost nothing. And that's by design. It's on purpose. It really doesn't do a lot except for help keep you organized. And then it's got a dialer built in. It just speeds up your spot prospecting so that it's lightning fast. I mean, I'm literally making 3 times more calls than I used to because I just have a dialer built in and I'm no longer punching in the numbers manually. there's a lot of cool things that come along with that, but that's how Hatcher works. So before you can start making calls, let's talk lesson number 2, because in lesson number 2, I'm going to show you how to connect Hatcher to Twilio so you can make calls directly from your dashboard. And so this part is really simple. Don't be intimidated at all, even if you don't consider yourself like a tech guru or really tech savvy. This part is really, really simple. So what you're going to do is you're going to go to the little orange gear icon over here, and you're going to hover, and you're going to go to the phone settings or the call settings and just click that button, click that little icon. And what you have to do is you have to authorize, or you have to give Hatcher permission to use your Twilio account to make calls. And you're probably thinking, or some of you guys I know are thinking, gosh, Chris, I don't have a Twilio account. What do I do? So you can actually navigate to Twilio.com and you can set up a Twilio account 100% free of charge. Now, this is all free, but when you actually start making calls, it is going to start to cost you a little bit of money. All right. So when you make calls, somebody's got to pay for those minutes, and I nominate that it be you. So in Twilio, I think they charge, you could actually check their latest rates, but they charge somewhere around like a penny a minute. All right. So if you were to make, 3 20-minute call sessions per week, that's typically what I do to do lead follow-up to convert a high volume of leads into clients, then we're talking about 60 cents per week. So if you did that every single week, we're talking about like under $5 a month. We're talking like $2.50 per month. So it's really, really, really inexpensive. But the most important thing I want to get across here is you're not paying us a dime, right? If you're paying Twilio, you're paying them directly. So once you set up your account, you just add a credit card, and then you're going to get this account information. So there's 2 little passcodes that you have to copy and paste over into Hatcher, and I'm going to show you exactly how to do that. Now you guys have my secret passcode. All right, and then you just click, once you've got those both pasted in, okay, then you're going to click authorize. And it'll take just a minute, but then it's going to connect Hatcher to Twilio so that I can make calls automatically from my dashboard. So once you've connected the account, okay, we've got to select the phone number, and I don't have one already. So we're going to buy a phone number. And since I work in Fayetteville, North Carolina, I'm going to search for a phone number in the 910 area code. And I'd really like for it to reflect, I'd like to reflect Fayetteville if possible. And nothing came up. I'm going to see if I can get more results. Let's try that again. You can refresh the results as many times as you want. And okay, these are null, but they're still 910. So I like this one. So I'm just going to buy this one. So are you sure you want to buy it for $1? And so I said yes. And then I'm going to click save. And then I'm going to go back to my call settings because there's still one more thing that you have to do. So we've selected that phone number now. It's really important that you click on it to select the phone number. And then you have to choose a callback number. So you're calling from this Twilio phone number, but if somebody calls you back, what number do you want the call to go to? And so I'm going to plug in my sales phone number that people can call me at if they're calling back related to any kind of real estate dealings. And then I'm going to click save. So now when I make calls, outbound calls from my Hatcher dashboard, and people call back that Twilio number, I don't even remember what it was. When they call that number back, it's going to ring directly to my smartphone, directly to my mobile phone. And finally, that brings us to lesson number 3, how to connect a lead source to fill up your Hatcher dashboard with loads and loads of leads so that we can start converting these raw leads into clients. And so let me move my ugly face out the way. And in order to do this, there's a few different ways you can start adding contacts to Hatcher. So the simplest, easiest way to do it would be under this gear tab, you're going to hit the plus sign, and that's where you can create or add one contact at a time manually. And so just imagine, for example, that you met a fellow at Lowe's who was picking up a for sale by owner sign, and you got into a conversation, it's a prime lead. And so it's Joe Smith. And after talking to him, maybe you offered him your bulletproof CMA. If you don't know about the bulletproof CMA, there's another video on our YouTube channel that you should check out, the bulletproof CMA. So I offer Joe Smith the bulletproof CMA, and I get his phone number so I can follow up with him. And I get his email. It's joesmith@gmail.com. And he's not unreached anymore. So I would just I'd plunk him down into the bribe value. He's accepted my bribe offer. And so I click save there. Now, that's one way you can add contacts to Hatcher. Another way you can add, it's a little bit more efficient, is the mass import. So if you have an existing database, so let's say you're working out of another CRM, maybe you have a free CRM through your company, and you've got a bunch of leads in there that you need to go back and call through and find out, hey, how many of you guys actually bought a home? How many people actually sold a home? And you want to start offering our bribe the way that we teach and our raw lead conversion video. There's another video on our YouTube channel called Raw Lead Conversion. Then you could do an export. You could just run an export from your existing CRM, and that's going to save as what we call a CSV file. Really simple. It's going to save it as like a Google Sheet or an Excel spreadsheet. And then you can just drag and drop that to the upload here, right? And if it's people you haven't called in a really long time, or maybe that you've never called, you're going to drop them into the unreached column. And then you just click check, and that'll import as many leads as you want at a time. Now, I recommend don't go wild with this because it can really screw up your Hatcher account if you were to import like 1,000 leads. But if you had 100 people that you wanted to call through quickly, Hatcher's going to help you do it. So import 100 people. They'll all go into your unreached column, and then you can start the dialer. And since we've already connected to Twilio, it's going to do a 10-second countdown, and then it's going to start ringing through these leads. And I'm actually just going to let you watch how that works here in just a minute. There, boom. It just started calling leads. And so we're calling Krishana. And I'm not going to let it go. I'm actually going to hit hang up. But that's how it works, right? So I'm going to stop the dialer, go ahead and end it. But that's how easy it is. You just buckle up and it'll start calling through your leads as fast as you want. All right. Now, the final way that you can connect your lead source is perhaps the best way, and that is having a Pro Tools account. So if you're not familiar with my company, Guerilla Realty, our flagship product is Pipeline Pro Tools. And Pro Tools is a complete marketing engine for realtors. You can check it out at pipelineprotools.com. It's the one thing that we do as a company that does cost money. But once you have it, you can connect Pro Tools to Hatcher so that all of your Pro Tools leads, so if somebody hits your Pro Tools website and they result in a lead, boom, it'll flow into Hatcher. Somebody calls your lead capture phone number, boom, it'll go to Hatcher. They text your text autoresponder that you get through Pro Tools, maybe using our Zillow hack playbook, boom, it goes to Hatcher. So everything will flow automatically. Now, let's say that you want to connect another lead source to Hatcher. Pro Tools is the only one that has a direct integration with Hatcher right now, but Pro Tools can connect to virtually any lead source out there. So if you have a KV Core or a KW Command or a Brivity or a Sync or a Follow-Up Bus, you can connect any of those lead sources to Pro Tools and then Pro Tools to Hatcher so that all of your leads flow into Hatcher automatically, and then you can begin making calls in Hatcher. And I'm just going to give you a quick bonus lesson to give you a, for instance, of how I run my typical weekly follow-up. So I typically do 3 20-minute call sessions, and my goal is I want at least one bribe call every single time I start a session, right? So for every session, I want at least one bribe call. If you get more than one, you're really crushing it. But 3 bribe calls a week will make you very, very wealthy in this business. And so here's what I do. I very simply, now that I'm connected to Twilio, I would just click start the dialer. I'm not going to do it right now, but it would start calling through my list. When I get somebody on the phone, and I don't really care how, what my answer rate is, none of that matters. All I care about is having conversations every time that I start a new call session. So eventually somebody answers the phone, I introduce myself, I tell them why I'm calling, and then ultimately I decipher whether they are a buyer exclusive lead or maybe they're a buyer and a seller lead. If they're a seller at all, I'm going to offer them my bulletproof CMA. It is hands down the best bribe that you can offer a seller. If they're just a buyer, then I'm going to offer them one of two bribes. My first bribe is I want to get them set up for automatic listings in the MLS. But then my second and more important bribe is I want to get them connected to my mortgage lender. All right. So the way that I do that is we have established, and we worked for years to make this happen. In fact, I actually just got off a call with my lender partner this morning. His name is Josh Shanley. He runs the Josh Shanley team at Nexa Mortgage. And we were able to establish an incredible partnership with them so that I can refer leads directly from Hatcher, and so can you. So if you want to get somebody pre-approved and you want to offer that as a bribe while you're making phone calls, all you have to do is, let's say that I called Krishana and I ended up talking to her, found out that she's looking for a home. She needs to move in the next 3 months. And I said, okay, there's a couple of things I can help you with. Number one, I can set you up for automatic listings, yada, yada, yada. Would that be helpful? Yeah, that'd be great. Okay. So they give me their criteria. And then I say, I told you there's one other thing that I might be able to help you with. And that is, I might be able to get you pre-approved for a home. Now, you might be thinking that that's way ahead of the game, right? You're not ready to go talk to a lender or anything like that. But I'll tell you, it is hands down, and I truly believe this from the bottom of my heart. That's why I can offer it as a bribe. I truly believe from the bottom of my heart, it is the most important thing anyone can do if they're even remotely thinking about buying a property. And the reason why is that sooner than you think, you are going to run across a property that's just perfect for you. And when you do, the last thing that you want to happen is for you to lose it just because you weren't already pre-approved, right? And nobody's going to accept an offer or even consider an offer from somebody that doesn't have a pre-approval letter from their lender. So what I can do is I have a connection with the top mortgage guys in all of North Carolina. And actually, the Josh Shanley team, they work in 48 states. They work in every single state except for New York and Massachusetts. If you're stuck in New York and Massachusetts, a lot of extra regs and stuff. For whatever reason, we're not there yet, but we will be soon. But they're the top mortgage guys in insert your state. And they are so good. They shop all the rates. They'll get you the absolute lowest rate that's available. And regardless of what your credit looks like, you would be shocked at how fast they can get you pre-approved and what they can get you pre-approved for. So if I could have them call you in the next hour, would you be available to take their call? Unfortunately, they don't take walk-ins. And so the only way, if you want to, if you want to talk to them, they'll always receive a referral from me. And so if I share your number with them and they called you in the next hour, could you answer the phone? And they say, yes. So here's what happens next. And this is so cool. We've just added this integration. I would move Krishana over to the bribe value. And then I would click Nexa Mortgage Referral. And it's going to open up a little pop-up. It's really easy, where I'm going to put in my name, Chris Jones, and then I'm going to put in my email, and then I'm going to put in the client that I'm referring. Right. So I'd put in Krishana, and then last name, phone number, email address, etc. I want them to be contacted right now. I don't know whether it's going to be conventional or different kind of mortgage. Additional notes, Spanish speaking, etc. Call right away. Yes. And then the consent form. And I'm going to click submit. And here's the cool thing, right? So Josh Shanley and the Nexa Mortgage team are absolutely fantastic with privacy. Whenever they call my leads, they will never share that data. And we actually have a partnership agreement with them where we can show you. They will never share my lead data with anyone except for me. So once they get Krishana, they get a credit application or mortgage application submitted. Then they create a little portal where I can follow Krishana's progress through the entire process. And I know when she's actually pre-approved. And whenever Krishana says, hey, I'm looking at this property, I'd like to make an offer, they're going to point Krishana back to me. And that's how cool it is. So we have that for you guys. Obviously, if you have a lender partner that you want to refer the leads to, that's great. But I'll tell you, I've had a lot of local lender partners, and none of them are able to do what Nexa Mortgage promises us to do. So if you use this integration, they will always call your leads 100% of the time. And we're referring them literally dozens of leads every single month. They're getting credit applications, they're getting the person approved, and then we're getting closings off of this, because once they get that person pre-approved, that prospect, everything about their buying cycle just accelerates. They've got that money burning a hole in they get approved for $400,000. Now they've got $400,000 burning a hole in their pocket. And this has been an absolute game changer for us, in terms of getting leads converted into clients. And so I'd love for you guys to use that. You do have to be a Hatcher user in order to be able to refer things to the Josh Shanley team. Josh Shanley's not going to just take your referral. We've worked on this partnership for a really, really, really long time. And I'd love to hear about your success story. So once you start using Hatcher, you get your leads in here and you're referring leads to the Josh Shanley team at Nexa Mortgage. I'd love to hear about some of the successes you have. Enjoy. Thanks for watching. I appreciate you sticking with me. If you're serious about converting more clients without spending money on ads or leads, this tool can change the game for you. To get the full in-depth training, including a free download of the swipe file with all the tools, scripts, and resources that you need to get started, in addition to Hatcher, here's what to do next. Just like this video, share it with a friend who needs help getting more clients, and then drop a quick comment below saying that you did. And once you do that, I'll send you a private link with everything 100% free. No paywall, no pitch, just real tools that actually work. And if you want more videos like this, stuff that actually helps you get consistent real estate clients, make sure to subscribe to our channel so that you don't miss another video. Thanks again for watching. Talk soon. Look, we've doubled our real estate business 3 times since 2019. If you want the full breakdown, exact scripts, step-by-step processes, and our brand new tool, drop a comment below.
No gimmicks, no paywalls. We're sending it completely free because we know it works.
Just type "send it" in the comments and we'll get it to you ASAP.
And if this was helpful, stick with us. We're dropping more strategies twice a week. Hit subscribe so you don't miss what's next.